If you're looking for MUT coins to upgrade your MUT game, go to GameRusher.com for cheap and safe MUT coins. You can use my discount code HUB at the website. Use the first link in the description down below and get that upgrade to your game. What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Kush back at it again with another New York Giants video. This video got a couple things to talk about. Of course, I have the updates of Coleman and Trent Harris, which is news that came out yesterday. We'll talk about those later in the video, since they're a bit older news. And the newer thing, a couple of thoughts from Marc Colombo here, and how the Giants, we should expect as Giants fans to see a more consistent Andrew Thomas moving forward. So first things first, couple of quick announcements. Tonight I will be live on PTA Sports' channel. I went live with him last night on my channel for the Just Chillin' podcast. We're going to be live from around 8:30 to 9:30 unless plans change. That's the way it's supposed to go. Then at 9:30 both of us are going to hop back on over here for the usual Wednesday Young Guns podcast. Of course, also with Kid Blue, my co-host. PTA will be the guest on this episode of the Young Guns podcast, so stay tuned for that. And let's get right into it. So this is I'm getting this from GMNHQ.com, author Matt Lombardo. I'm sure you guys know him. He's a Giants beat reporter. And this is what they say about Marc Colombo and Andrew Thomas. Article begins with: the Giants aren't ready to throw in the towel on the number 4 overall pick, Andrew Thomas. The struggling rookie left tackle was already surrendered an astonishingly high 37 pressures, 6 sacks, and 4 quarterback hits through his first 7 games, according to PFF. Still, the Giants offensive line coach Marc Colombo believes Thomas can turn around a corner and quickly. And this is Marc Colombo's direct quote: "We're looking to see his good practices translate to games. That's a part of my job to simplify it and to make it easy for him so he goes out into these games and he thinks less. You don't want a young guy thinking too much. He's a smart guy and wants to get everything right. We need him to go out and do what he's taught and what he's learning in practice and what he's fighting to get right in these games." Now, I will say really quickly, I'm not giving up on Andrew Thomas. I think it's way too soon. I think it's stupid for anybody to give up on Andrew Thomas. He's literally still a rookie. The guy hasn't even finished his rookie year yet. I feel like for some reason, particularly this year in football, people seem to forget that there's ups and downs, not only in a prospect's rookie year, but honestly their first 2 to 3 years, which is why you give them those first 2 to 3 years to figure out how they are and figure out how they play. Now with some of them, yes, you could definitely see right on they are at extremes of the spectrum. For some of them, you can see right on, oh my God, this person's great. They're gonna be a great, probably NFL, Hall of Famer type player, and you could see, oh my God, this person's a bust, they're gone, might as well get rid of them now. Thomas is more in the middle of that. Now, we all hoped he would be more on the side of great, but he has had moments that looked like bust moments, but that's not saying he's a bust, which is why he's in the middle, which is why you give him time. But I think that part of the problem, and I said this in my stream last night with PTA, is that he may be thinking a little too much. I even made a tweet this morning saying that him and Daniel Jones might be facing some similar problems, that they're putting too much pressures on themselves and trying to do too much for the team. And Marc Colombo's right, and I'm surprised. I don't know if this is the first time he's seeing it or it's just for the first time we're hearing it from him through the media, but in my opinion, this is something that should have been looked at earlier on. So another quote by Colombo here: "The consistency is the biggest deal. Early on, it was the consistency of the whole entire group. Now it's kind of consistency in a couple individuals. And it's usually the young guys, and we have to get a little more out of him and take it into games. We see it in spurts, but we have to see it consistency." He's ready for the challenge. I expect some good games coming here from Andrew. And you know what? This is honestly another thing that's completely true. We've seen, I just said it, we've seen moments of him looking good. Although I will say what concerns me is that his moments looking really good and looking like somebody that was worth the 4th overall pick were earlier on in the season, and his moments where he looked really bad were very recent, more recent games later on in the season, which is why it gives the impression that Andrew is actually, decreasing in quality. He's actually regressing rather than progressing. And in my opinion, that's a combination of both, him executing, but more so the coaching, which is why last night's stream I was questioning Marc Colombo. I was wondering, what is Marc Colombo doing? Not just for Andrew Thomas, but for the entire line, because somehow, some way, they seem to get a little bit worse every week. You know what I'm saying? And it's not overall. Sometimes it's in particular areas they were better in the week before. Of course, that has a lot to do with the competition. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this excuse, but it's not even an excuse. It's just context against who he's gone up against. You talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are undefeated right now, and they still lead the league in sacks with TJ Watt and Bud Dupree. You talk about one of the best outside linebackers in the league in Khalil Mack, who was switched on to him a couple times. Now, I can't excuse the 49ers game. I can't excuse the Cowboys game. Those two straight up on Thomas and on the offensive line with how bad they were. You know what? Actually did pretty well against the Rams. So there you go. It was a good game right there. And then with the Eagles, I said this in my preview video, people don't realize that the Eagles defensive line is one of the best in the league. They're top 5 in sacks and top 10 in pressures. So it's I don't want to say it's understandable that we fail against them, but I'm just going to provide that context there. Now, I will say, and I've been saying this for a couple weeks now, I still believe Thomas is one of the franchise tackles of the future, the other one being Matt Peart. Whether he's on the right side or the left side, I honestly don't care. Put him where he's best. Same for Peart. And there has been times where Peart is put in on the left side, he looks better than Thomas. And when Peart is put on the right side with Thomas on the left side, the entire offensive line gels. The best example of that is in Dallas game. It was the first time we saw Matt Peart. He was put in on the right side replacing Cam Fleming. That entire offensive line gelled. It was great in pass protection, great in run blocking. I don't care whatever way it is, but get them both on the field at the same time. Jesus Christ, why haven't we seen Matt Peart out there yet as a starter, whether it's on the right or the left? I don't care, because I do believe these two are the future tackles, plural, of the team. Two last quotes here by Marc Colombo. We try to give help where it's needed. We have schemes to do that, usually based on pass rushers. These guys create a tremendous challenge up front, and that will be built in on certain plays. But there will be plays where we have to block him one-on-one. It's your job to block a defensive end in the end. Defensive end in the NFL one-on-one. I don't know why my tongue slipped there. That's why he's here. That's why he's going to hang around for a long time. You have to block that guy. Good stuff here from Marc Colombo. What I certainly hope is that it's not just cookie cutter stuff, but it is spot on. You know, it is spot on. Like, if we can see it as fans, of course the coaches can see it. I just hope they could find a way to capitalize on it, correct it, and make him better. And once again, please get Matt Peart out on the field. So give me your thoughts there on what Marc Colombo has to say about Andrew Thomas. I mean, I honestly do expect to see a better Andrew Thomas from this point around, not necessarily a more consistent one, because he's now played half a season in the NFL. He's only going to do so much to adapt to it. I honestly expect improvements to come after the bye week, which is week 11. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because that's a while from now, but that's going to be when he has more time to implement everything. And I'm speaking when I say him, both Colombo and Thomas. And then, of course, yesterday, the Giants signed wide receiver Coleman to the practice squad, and they elevated Trent Harris, who we signed 2 weeks ago from the Miami Dolphins practice squad, a linebacker, to the active roster. Now, I think Jabal Shurd, I'm not sure what the situation is with Jabal Shurd, but he should be on the active roster as well. He's another edge rusher that we signed last week. So that means we do have two people, you know, they're kind of replacing Lorenzo Carter, who's out for the season, unfortunately, and Trent Harris, and then Jabal Shurd replacing Marcus Golden after the trade. Now, of course, Harris actually had his debut for the Giants against the Eagles. He didn't have much playing time at all, though. They kind of put him back down to the practice squad and now are elevating him again. I would like to see him involved a bit more just because we don't really have anybody there. Right now, it's just Kyler Fackrell. I mean, behind him, Cam Brown, who I do expect Cam Brown's playing time to increase. And I've said this a couple of times. Whenever I see Cam Brown on the field, he's the smallest dude out there on outside linebacker. But somehow, someway, he always gets what seems to be good pressure. He is out there in limited snaps, so maybe that's how he's supposed to be used. But Cam Brown, he's going to have increased snaps just because of the, the situation with injuries and who we have on the squad right now. And then with Corey Coleman, while I am, somewhat, excited to have him back, part of my mind is still telling me the guy was out there as a free agent for 7 weeks in the NFL and nobody signed him. And there are other teams not named the Giants that do have needs for wide receiver. But I'm still excited nonetheless because he was our best wide receiver in training camp. In that very short, very obscure offseason that we had, he performed the best. He seemed like he was going to have a good season, you know what I'm saying? And we could use all the wide receiver help we need. So that's another reason I'm very excited for it. The Giants also signed our tight end Rysen, who I know a lot of you are a fan of because of his size, to the practice squad, and I think Montre Hardage. So those are the updates for today. Let me know what you guys think. Put your comments down below. That's it for now, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch y'all in the next one.